Hello, hello, everybody. It's Sharon here with Sarah Arrow from Content Sparks. And we're going to have a lot of fun today talking about ways to use your brandable blog posts and emails, which is very topical right now because we just released a brand new bundle of content, which has 50 of pieces of content. So it has 25 blog posts and 25 emails on 5 different topics. And I know you're going to want to have ideas for how to use those beyond the obvious, which is why I called this Beyond the Obvious with the blog posts and emails. Hi, Fran. Good to see you here. As you come in, anyone who's watching the replay or coming in, please put in any questions, comments in here. Say hello, where you're from. And also, as we go through, since this is kind of a brainstorming session, even though we prepared some ideas, throw in some of your own ideas of how you use the blog posts and emails, the PLR, if you use that term. I know I use brandable, prefer that, or done for you. So Mary said, I love going beyond the obvious. Yes, we are going to do that today, and hopefully you'll come up with some ideas as well as we brainstorm, because there's nothing like, having other people around to throw ideas around. And that's why I love when Sarah comes on with me, because I start talking and she suddenly comes up with a great idea, and she has a great idea, and that sparks an idea for me. And then you get to get the benefit of all of that. And hopefully you guys will participate too. So Mary said, you're from Paris. Yay. Haven't used it for emails, blog posts yet, but we'll brainstorm with you. Excellent, because you are going to get a lot of ideas. Okay. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time here today, because we will be going all over the place with ideas. As I said, there's a brand new pack today with the 50 done for you blog posts and emails. So if you don't have any at all, you can go there and grab those at a discount. It's contentsparks.com/50 blog posts and emails, ampersand for the and. All right. So I'll leave that up there just for a second and go back to us. And there we are. So actually, I can pull up my notes here as well, which I think would be helpful, because then we can work off something here. So this is a way for you to see also how I do notes. I don't normally share these because these are my notes for a presentation. So I just put a bunch of stuff in Evernote, and then we can bat it around. So obviously there is the obvious: blog posts, emails, stuff like that. Oh, whoops. We don't want you to skip ahead here, do we? No, we don't. I'm not showing you anymore. So blog posts, email broadcasts, adding the emails to an existing email series, putting your blog posts in your blog. So that's the obvious way, the as is. When you hear the term, that's what you think you'll use it for. Now, there's a next level to that of how you use them. So you can do a blog post series. So you load them in, you schedule them, and you could have them on what I call a pillar page. It's a themed page, basically, on your website, on your blog, that has a little bit about each topic. So there is a theme. So say it's working from home. It's almost like your complete guide. And you have a little bit of each, and then you link out to each of your blog posts. So you can do your series and then put it on there. Sarah, you've done something like that before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got one that I'm just redoing. I was in a group and somebody's like, here's the ultimate guide to setting up your blog. And I went through it and it was okay, but it wasn't the ultimate guide. And I thought to myself, before I start critiquing him and telling him he's missed this, he's missed that, and this needs to be expanded and that no longer matters, before I do that, what have I got on my site about starting a blog? And I had nothing on my site about starting a blog, because I don't work with beginners. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have a pillar post. And I actually call them hub posts, because it's the central hub, and all of the little posts radiate out from the main hub. And it took me 3 days to put together, and I still haven't done enough of little articles, because as I'm going through it, I'm thinking, right, I need to link to this now. And then I go and search through my posts. I've got 780 blog posts on my site, and I've got a list of another 50 posts that I need to write so I can complete and publish my hub page. So yeah, you'll do them and it will be really good, because you've got 5 emails and 5 blog posts, and that forms the basis of your hub. And of course, as you go through it and start writing your hub, then you will want more pieces of content. You will need other bits and pieces, because as I'm writing about choosing a domain name, yes, brilliant, I've got an article about choosing a domain name, but I don't have an article about choosing hosting. Yeah, I'm a prolific blogger, Fran. I just love it. Which is why PLR Done For You, particularly Sharon's content, is really spectacularly good. I'm going to go off on one of my infamous tangents here.
Go for it.
Called the Online Sports Academy, and here we build sporting academies for people like athletics clubs and football clubs, martial arts clubs. We build them an online presence, so they've got a digital academy, an online sports academy, hence the title. And you know what, I did not have a single blog post on that site until yesterday. And I was going through the Teach Online course, and I thought, oh, there's blog posts here in the upgrade. I didn't know they existed. So I thought, oh, let's see how I can just adjust and tweak some of the language so it's teaching your sports class online. So I did. And Sharon had shared with me the other day this brilliant cover photo that you can do, like a magazine cover.
I saw you do that.
Yeah. So I banged in a picture of an athlete, put some little bits like 4 tips on doing this, and put Online Sports Academy atop like a magazine masthead, and then I banged it out as a blog post. I've had so many people come back to me and say, what a fantastic image that is. That's really compelling. That really stopped me. I didn't know you did this. And that was just from taking bits out of the blog post and turning it into a cover on a site that has had no traffic, no traction. Ah, there it is.
I love it. Yep. And that was from an idea from a blog post.
Yeah, and that was from a blog post, and Sharon had shared with me the magazine cover, and I took the idea of the magazine cover, pulled the bits out of the blog post and turned it into a really compelling visual. So yeah, it's really cool, Fran. And I was so grateful to Sharon for firstly, inspiring me with the magazine, and secondly, for having the article so that I could take bits out of it and turn it into something for the Online Sports Academy.
So things like this, we're playing here. Let me hide that banner so it's not so yeah, I was playing with something like this for our Bright Sparks. Dave's is coming up Saturday, and just sort of playing with, what they could look like, or if I wanted to do one myself. There's just so many designs. So this is why, of course, we love Canva. Where's the other one I did? You can see I've got a ton of stuff. So I was like playing with maybe one I could do with me, that kind of thing. You like this one?
Yeah, it's a real magazine cover.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Well, you just play. There's so many different ones in here. So just some ideas for you there. Let me go back. All right. So we've gone off. Where were we with the ideas for that? And Fran, you asked if that's a pro version of Canva. I think you can get all of those templates in the regular Canva, and the difference with the pro, I've had it for so long I don't always know what the differences are, but you can add your branding colors and stuff like that, so they're always there for you. Plus, there's a much bigger repository of images in the pro account, a lot more templates too. Definitely a lot more templates. In fact, if I look at it, go back to Canva a second. Here, then I'll bet it might say it in here. If I go into all templates, usually it shows it here. If I go into see all,
At the
if you
top.
hover over these are free, but yeah, you can filter. No, it filters it with when you do photos. Like if I go into photos, you'll be able to see, say I put in computer. You'll see if you hover over some are pro ones. So if I were to only show the free ones, I can go orientation, square, vertical, pick colors. But the pro, if I only did pro, there'll be a lot fewer. There's still quite a lot in there.
Yeah.
Even that are free, still quite a few, and a lot of good ones. But there's even more with the pro. So let's just take a look. I'm playing now when we were going to be talking about ideas. And then there's pro runs. See, you can see how many there are. Right. And then I'm able to do things like, I think videos is also is free. There's a lot of free ones. There's probably some others as well in the pro. Yeah, this is a new thing. Folders. So I can have folders like team templates. Is that in the free also? Not sure. But I have my logos, my branding and stuff like that all in there too. So lots of stuff to do. I don't think it's very expensive either. So, okay, I'm off my tangent, promise. Let's go back.
Say hello to Jane. She's arrived. What time do you call this, love?
Yeah, 10 minutes late. Come on. So we were talking about pillar pages, hub pages. Fran said only 1 or 2 folders are free in the free Canva. Well, that's plenty for most people. You have like team stuff, your logos. We just use it so much that it's helpful. So we talked about the pillar page, hub page, whatever you want to call it, where you have all the different blog posts, like your complete guide that's more general topic for keywords. And then you have little subtopics that go out to your blog posts that just have kind of a high level in the pillar page. All right. And you do email series. So obviously with the emails, you're not just sending out a broadcast, you can make it a series. And one idea there, because we give you lots of different topics and a lot of our customers have tons of different courses. One thing you can do with the emails is segment people so that they only go to an email series that they're interested in. So you could have one email that says, okay, which things are you most interested in? Topic A, topic B, topic C. And then if you're using something like ActiveCampaign, they can click on it and it adds a tag that you can set up to start your email automation. So it's actually quite simple when you see it versus me just talking about it, but it is that simple. There's a little thing where you click on it, it says, what action, you can have an action happen when someone clicks on a link. Add a tag in your automations, have an automation start out when the tag's added, and then you have your emails. And that way you also know, because they have that tag, who's interested, how many people are interested in one thing versus another. So when you go to do a course, you're going to focus on the one that more people are interested in and only send the information to people who are interested. So that's another way. You were going to talk about LinkedIn Pulse when we were talking about articles.
LinkedIn, as you know, is one of my favorite places, and I'm not going to talk about what I was doing over there yesterday because I sound like a spammy internet marketer when I do that. So I'm going to tell you there's been a new addition where on certain accounts, and I'm a Brit, as you can tell, so it's not on my account just yet. And so if you're in the US or North America, then you probably have the access to upload to your profile a PDF. And when you do that, LinkedIn takes the PDF and puts each page as an image. So you could put a blog post, save it in the Word document, save it as a PDF, upload that PDF to your profile, and it will show as a series of images. You can also do that on the main LinkedIn wall. And again, I've not been able to do that geographics. LinkedIn, get your act together. So you've got a visual carousel of the content. Now, of course, it's too small to read in the tiny visuals, the little squares, because if you've got a blog post that's, say, 6 pages, when you save it as a PDF, you're going to have 6 little square images. So people will click and open the PDF, and you can have your call to action in it, a miniature introduction to you, and they have a really nice experience of your content without actually going over to your blog. So you can use it as a lead generator on there. And I believe that once people start doing this and people get used to seeing the little cubes of content in their streams, they'll start clicking and engaging and interacting more. So it's something that you're at the forefront. They only released this update yesterday. So you know before anybody else knows, okay? So if you haven't got it, don't sulk like I am. Know that it will get to us, but it's coming. And I still don't have LinkedIn Live 18 months after they're rolling it out. So I'm not going to apologize on LinkedIn's behalf because they're slackers, but I just know that we will get it at some point, and I will get LinkedIn Live, and then you'll never hear the end of me. I'll be over all of the time. So that's a really good thing. But you can also put your content on LinkedIn Pulse. So it doesn't have to be confined to your blog, to a PDF, and on your actual timeline. You can put it on LinkedIn Pulse. And when you do that, it notifies the people in your network who are online at that time. It says, Sarah Arrow has just published an article. And then they go over and they have a look. Mary's saying she can upload a document there. So go and upload something, Mary. Let us know what happens.
Yeah, tell us.
We're excited with this. Before I go back to talking about LinkedIn and the comments coming up, and I don't want to miss Jason's because he's just pointed out there's a lifetime pro account for Trello available. So if you don't want to pay monthly for Canva, but you want lots of fancy bells and whistles on your graphics, then do go over and have a look at Trello, because they have a lot of things before Canva does. They were doing animated graphics before Canva did. So they're a real good leader in the graphics arena. And I didn't want to go past in the comments without addressing that. So sorry for stopping LinkedIn and going back to Canva/Trello. Okay. So do check out Trello, because it is a really good tool, as Jason has pointed out.
Okay, I don't know that one, but great. Okay, sounds good. And all right, Camille, you asked about demonstrating the email strategy. I think I'll have to do that in a separate video tutorial, because I'll have to go into my email account and show you. It's not as complicated as it sounds, but I have ActiveCampaign. What email provider do you have? Do you have ActiveCampaign also? Most of them that have tagging and automations work very similarly, so you can probably still do it even if you don't have ActiveCampaign. But I can try and do a separate little video tutorial on that to show you, okay? So let's just go back now, because we were just talking about kind of next level, using the stuff as a blog post, an article, and email. Well, where we start getting creative is when you start repurposing into other content. So one of the things that a lot of our customers have told us they do is use the blog posts as starter scripts for live streams. So something like this, obviously we're doing this interview setup, but you can use it as your idea starter and then enrich it with your own stories and insights. So you're not reading it on a live stream. The whole point of something like a live stream is that you're being personal, you're speaking from the heart, it's you, your ideas, but you have something as your starting point. And as you go through, you can make notes on your examples, your ideas, things like that, and then just get on and keep that as notes on the side, kind of like I was doing, like I showed you at the beginning, where I just have my notes off to the side there that I don't normally show. But actually, I often put them on an iPad or a tablet right in front of me so that I can just look down and see, okay, did I miss something? So you can take that blog post, break it up into notes and what you want to talk about, and make sure you go back and forth. You could do it even like this kind of format with an interview, get someone on who's an expert or who has other ideas that really complement yours, and have a conversation around the different ideas from the blog post. So it really becomes something entirely different once you take that as your starting point on that. And Sarah, you had a great idea that we were just talking about before we went live with the live streams.
With the live streams, particularly if you're going to tell your own stories. So I'll just open up one of the packets. So I've got the Success Mindset blog post emails open. And the first one is on abundant mindsets. Yeah. So if I read it out loud, it says, it's no exaggeration to say that mindset is everything in business. How you see the world influences everything you do. So if I was live stream, I would say, hello, everyone. Really glad that you're here. Leave me a comment saying abundant if you think you've got an abundant mindset. Okay, so straight away, that's different from what's on the text. And then I would say something along the lines of, do you believe that mindset is everything in business? Leave me a comment, tell me yes or no. And then I've got an instant poll and I can say, oh, look, we've got 3 people that say no and 7 that say yes. So let's address why abundance in your mindset is really important. And then I would go through the article. So I would have done my engagement bits, done a quick poll, but now I've got some data. Because when I've finished that, I can transcribe it, but I've got some data. 10 people answered, 7 believed that mindset was everything, and 3 didn't. So I can say, in a recent survey, 7 out of 10 business owners said, right? And now I've got a little meme that can go on social media because I've done that survey. I've got those results, and I can now talk about it in a more meaningful way. I've positioned myself as an authority in this very quickly by doing a poll and extrapolating the data from that. And now I've got this transcript. And what starts out as a blog post / email, in this case it's an email, I've done a miniature survey, I've got some data, I can do some market research, but as people are talking to me, the people who are experienced are going to come up and float up to the top. And they're the people that Sharon says, interview an expert. So I've now done this. I've got the transcript for this. I go and interview the expert. And then I get that transcribed. And then I do another one and I get that transcribed. And now all of a sudden I've got 30,000 words on mindset that I've spoken for about 3 hours, and then I can smoosh them all together and edit it. Now, the editing is, I'm going to get all British on you now. It's a pain in the backside, right? Word blind, And some of the transcripts we do for our Bright Sparks interview, it doesn't understand content sparks. I've seen it called content source, content socks. It's never
content spots was the last one.
Content spots.
That's the beauty of artificial intelligence. Yeah.
So as I'm going through this and I'm editing it, and you can tweak the language, you can actually export it out the transcriptions. I use Happy Scribe, which is also on offer. I've used Temi, I've used Otter AI, I've used Rev. Sharon's got a girl on Fiverr that she uses. So there's lots of ways that you can cheaply transcribe your content. And 30,000 words might sound like hours and hours and hours of content, but actually it's only 3 hours. So if you've done, that's possibly 6 live streams, and you could have, say, 5 interviews in that and your own one. So once you've done that, you need to edit it. Now, if you go word blind like I do and miss the content socks, you need to get somebody else to edit your content. So
Not me.
export it out and get somebody that you're happy to owe a favour to, because it does your eyes in, and edit that. And then you can turn that into something you can upload on Kindle. You will need the permission of your experts, and that's brilliant because you can get affiliate links for their programs and pop those in, and they'll be happy to promote those books. You can give the books away for free, or you can sell them for 99 cents, and you've got your affiliate links for your expert program. You also got your program to mention at the end of it. Yeah. And by the time that you've added who you are and why you're into abundance and mindset, you've got a really nice little book there. And all it is you live streaming, doing a couple of polls, establishing who your experts are, and getting them up. Mary's got a tip, if you can flash that up.
Mm-hmm. So if you have a PC, you recommend Dragon Dictation. Okay. Is that the same as Dragon Naturally Speaking? That's the way I used to know it. Which also does transcription. Okay. Still use it for transcribing. Okay. I'll have to check that out as well. I didn't know it could transcribe from videos. I thought it was just, speaking and getting it down. So that's good to know. One thing you should know, make sure we just emphasize when we're talking about putting stuff on Kindle. Sarah's talking about a live stream transcription where you're really, it's become completely unique content. You're not reading anything off. If you were to take the blog post more as is or mostly as is, you cannot put them on Kindle. You cannot put them into a Kindle book. There are rules against that on Amazon and probably most places. And you wouldn't want to do that anyway. The whole point, the whole value of it is to add your personality and your voice and all this spicing it up with your stories and stuff. Okay. And also, you see people a lot these days selling courses who first start with a book like that, where they give it away for free initially, and it becomes a lead magnet for their course. Because if it's a topic like the abundance mindset that you were talking about, the book, the live streams, everything reinforces the value, the importance of that topic. And then people are going to want more learning about the doing side, because it's very hard in a book to teach someone how to do something, how to really take action. That you need the course for. So the two work well together. And then it becomes a paid book also, so you get some revenue from that, but you're still sending people to your course also, or whatever services or whatnot that you're selling. Mm-hmm. Let me first just add Mary's. You could drop the file into Dragon and boom, yay.
Wow.
It blows up. No. Also use a tool for Kindle book design called vellum.pub. Okay, can we just keep a note of some of these? I want to just note that vellum.pub, and it was Dragon Dictation.
Yep.
I want to just be able to share it to not lose these. Okay. And then I'm going to mess up your name, so I'm not even going to say it. Dupree. What should be the ideal length of a blog post? As I've heard anything below 1,000 would be classed as thin content by Google. Okay, lacking value. Sarah, this is your question.
I'm sorry that I'm not going to call you by your first name because I don't want to embarrass myself by not pronouncing it right, but I'll message you and ask you how to pronounce that. So next time you come on, I can greet you properly. Mm-hmm. So the how long is a piece of string answer, okay, which is... So if somebody's researching the Gettysburg Address, I believe it's something like 327 words. So if somebody actually wants the text of the Gettysburg Address, that's 327 words. Now, obviously, that means a lot to the people. I couldn't even tell you what is in that. I'm really sorry. I just happen to know it's 300-ish words. Right? It's a really important piece of content for US history. So how do you make that into more? Well, you would have to put in the history, what led up to the Gettysburg Address, what was the impact of it at the time, was it well received at the time, or was it something that grew in impact and influence after the initial address, and what it now means. So that 327 words now becomes, if you have a 300-word paragraph talking about it as an introduction, and then another 300-word paragraph, it now becomes a 1,500-word article, just by explaining who it was intended for, the impact, and so on. So you put it into context for your reader. Now, I'm British. Somebody should write the post. The Gettysburg Address for the Brits, what it actually means, yeah? So that it is made understandable to me. Now, if you're based in the US, you already know some of the background and some of the history. You just need a refresher. So instead of it being a 1,500-word post, it could actually be a 1,000-word post, because you already know a lot of the backstory to that particular speech. So it depends on the audience, it depends on the context, and it depends on whether you're doing it for your audience or to get searches off of Google, because the content you create for your audience can be quite often smaller. And when I say create for your audience, it's something that you're going to send to your email list and share on social media. You're not necessarily doing it for search engine positioning, because it may be a personal thing. So say that you're writing an email follow-up and you want to introduce yourself, you might write a personal article on your blog and link to it in that email. Now, if people search your name, they're going to come up with your about page and everything else. They're not necessarily going to come up with that article. And that is absolutely okay, because you're using that article in an email sequence for your audience to get to know you. Now, if you are wanting people to know you, maybe somebody recommends you and says, oh gosh, you need Sharon Sheldon's content for this, and someone types in Sharon Sheldon, what we want is Sharon's about page to come up, or Sharon's contact page to come up, because if they know her name, they want to get in touch with her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the context and the audience play a part in whether it's 1,000 words, 327 words, or 1,500 words. Anything.
Sorry, I just want to show, yes, my about page comes up first. As it's supposed to.
As it's supposed to. Lots of people optimize their homepage of their website for their name, and that's completely wrong. Don't do that. So we want to see that magazine page come up. Absolutely. That needs to go on the about page, doesn't it, Fran? It is fabulous.
I was just playing around, but yeah, might as well use it.
So with your 1,000 words, it really depends. And I know that's not the answer that you want. You want me to say 1,250 is the precise amount, right? It really depends on the audience that you're intending your content for. And remember, you can't say that you've got the ultimate guide to something if it's not the ultimate guide to something. I'm writing the ultimate guide to coaches for online courses. Wrong headline there. I've completely mangled the headline. It's now around 9,000 words. And of course, once Sharon gets her hands on it, it will become 3,000 and there will be more commas in it. But we have
Sorry, that's an inside joke. I have a thing about commas. All right.
So the content that you're creating, it really does depend. If you're doing a quick and dirty guide to getting new hosting, you might want to just do 10 lines with 10 different tips, 1 to 10 bullet points, and that's it. if you're doing something that's in depth, make sure it is in depth, because I am fed up with seeing an article fly by on Facebook or LinkedIn and it says the ultimate guide to Canon printers. And I click on it, there's 2 printers and 50 words. That's the ultimate guide to nothing. It just means I just block that person. I never read anything they ever send again. So you do have to think about how you're titling it and what you want the impact to be.
Yeah.
So I hope that's answered your question somewhat and not leaving you running around in circles. But if you sit down before you write your post and think, who's the audience for this? What do I want them to get out of this? How do I want them to feel at the end of it? You will have a rough guide of how long or short that blog post should be.
Yep, exactly. Okay, good. And for anyone who's coming in late, we are talking about how to use blog posts and emails in creative ways, going beyond the obvious of using blog posts and emails. And that's because we also just launched a whole brand new bundle of blog posts and emails. So if you don't have any, you can grab them. contentsparks.com/50 blog posts and emails. All right. So going back again, just want to make sure you saw that for anyone who missed it. Going back to ideas. So we talked about pillar pages and email series and LinkedIn Pulse and the carousel. We talked about live streams, starters, bringing on experts, transcribing those, adding your stories, bunch of tools. Another thing you can do is pull out key points. So just pulling out bullet points and using it in different places. So you can use it on slides, and I can show you Canva's slideshow things if you want to make pretty ones, and you can even export those to PowerPoint. But also putting them on images, making infographics from them. You can take, I think you can still take slideshows and videos, I'm sure you can, and put them onto LinkedIn, up to your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah,
so if you have
through SlideShare.
Through SlideShare, you can do the slides. The videos, I think you can put on directly, but you can use those key points and make the slideshows into videos, have the social media images, infographics, just use text. You can use certain content tools for creating videos from your blog posts. So, I'm always talking about Content Samurai, how I love them. They've changed their name. So all my links that say Content Samurai, it's actually now Vidnami. So that's the new name. And they have all sorts of cool tools for taking a blog post text and making it into video. And you can add your own little on-camera clip at the beginning and the end. I've used it for sales page stuff, or just putting it into a video with the text on it, the subtitles. So lots of cool tools like that. And Sarah, you use a different tool for that?
I use the Content Samurai. I also use InVideo. And I've got another one, and the name escapes me at the moment. I was just overlooking at my Content Samurai account, because I believe you can just add the URL of the post and it pulls it all in, doesn't it, Sharon?
Yeah.
So,
but if it's a long post, it becomes too long. So if you want to create, say, a short video that's going to go with a longer blog post, you can just put part of it in. So it's the intro. Otherwise, you have tons of stuff that you have to edit. So if you might want to do it with the short blog post first, then go into your blog posts and elaborate in different places, just so that you don't. The whole point of a video on a blog post is more to get people into it and give them the highlights, the summary. So sometimes those automated features don't always work so well, like, transcribing Sarah's accent.
Yes. Socks.
Yeah. So I could show. Why don't I show you that Canva slideshow thing? I just want to see what other questions we have. Is this, Alvin said, is this only applicable with C-Sparks products to sell, or only for digital products? I'm not sure what the question is in terms of of what you're using. If you're selling printables, were you talking about Canva and my referring to make stuff look good in Canva? Because the blog post, you could take key points from that and put it onto something, say a Canva, and print it, make it a printable. Sure, why not? That would work. You can do pretty much anything you want. The thing with our blog posts in particular, at what we call attraction content versus, say, a course, is that you can use it anywhere. Whereas our materials that are the brandable courses are really meant to be sold or used as a lead magnet. You can't just publish those anywhere on the web. Oops, I'm knocking my microphone. Sorry about that. You can't just publish those anywhere freely because that takes away all the value for everyone. You need to actually get people in as leads with smaller ones and sell the bigger ones. Okay. So if you can just elaborate on that, if possible, then hopefully I can answer it better.
While we're waiting, show us Canva.
Okay, let me show you. Let me hide this and go back over to Canva. Here, I'll do it here. Unless you want to see me. Okay, so what did I was showing this. Here, let me make this full screen, actually. I pulled up a template that actually you, Sarah, put together. It's a slide in the slideshow template in Canva, because there's lots of different ones. You can change them, make different things, apply different templates, but I'm not going to do it. Let me get out of that. And then you can tweak it, add images. So you could use one of theirs. Sarah set one up for me if I wanted to use with my colors, change the text, do whatever you want. And it's in a slideshow size already, and you can present it from Canva. But they also have a thing now where you can animate, which may only be in the Pro account. I'm not sure, but they have all these options. So if you were going to present it from Canva, just share a screen, you can use some of their animations also like that and apply them to the slides. So you would just apply that. And then when you've done all your edits, added images and whatnot, you go into present on the upper right here, right? You can have different views. So there's presenter view and autoplay and other things. So presenter view, which is the nicest one, gives you the option. Here's all these things that pop up that tell you what you can do. So if you wanted to also make this a video at the same time, you could put a screen recorder on, like Camtasia or Snagit, and enter the full screen and record that. If you have two monitors, you can have that on one monitor and have your presentation with your notes on a different monitor. So this is asking me whether I'm going to want to go into full screen mode. I'm going to say no. So you could also just record that, I guess. Presenter window over here, I can have my notes. So this is the presenter view, right? Where I can put in notes, my speaker notes, and I can see the slides. And at the same time, people who are viewing on the other window or the other screen aren't going to see all this. They're just going to see the slides, right? And then I can just click through while I have my notes in there. And all these slides, you just would edit and make them your own. So you would just take one of the things from Canva. So one of the templates in here. Let me go back to the templates and just start your own slideshow with that. Now, if you don't want to use it in Canva, and I think most of the people I've spoken to prefer to do it in something like PowerPoint. I haven't tried doing this in Canva, but you can set all of these up in Canva and then download them into PowerPoint. And you can just download, I'm not going to download all 43 pages in here. I just want to show you a few, let's say. Let me download 4. Done. I download it, right? So it's preparing the design. And then I'm going to open up that PowerPoint and show you what that looks like. So here's the PowerPoint it has exported everything from Canva and made it into individual pieces in PowerPoint. So it's already set up for me. And if I've already customized it, if I want to add animations, I could add animations here instead. So I would have already put in my picture and stuff, but I could, go into animations in here and have something that flies in, add stuff. Obviously, you have to play around with PowerPoint and learn that, but it gives you more control over what gets animated. And I find it a little easier once you have it set up, your design, to do it in here and to present and record from here also. And I have some tutorials on how to record from this stuff. All right, so I hope that was helpful on there. Have you ever used the actual slides from Sarah?
I've used them as a webinar. I've not presented from Canva. I'll be honest, I didn't know that was an option. I know it's the very first one on it, but I just go to download and I'm done. And some of the tools that I've used for slides on webinars, you have to download as a PDF. Canva only has a 30-page PDF download. So you have to use a tool like PDF Merge to put them together. So if you use a webinar tool where your slides are uploaded as a PDF, you have to merge the two on Canva before you do that. But, it's a simple thing, in advance that you have to do that. It's when you're about to go live in 5 minutes and you can't upload it and you can't download it and you're swearing and all sorts of things. But yeah, I also like the downloading it into PowerPoint and just having it. And I always notice the typos in PowerPoint. Whenever I'm looking on Canva, I do not see them. They're invisible to me. The moment it appears in PowerPoint, I click on it and it's dancing right there. Typo.
Because they underline, because of the underlining. Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, because they underline it. What was I going to say on that? I think Demio now, I don't know if they've done the change yet, but they were going to change it so that you could actually upload slides instead of having it to be a PDF, which is a help. Though I tend to just prefer the screen share personally. It's just, I don't want to have to deal with that. So there was another question. All right. So Alvin, you said only applicable. We're talking only about Content Sparks here, but if you're thinking of other PLR people, it's the same concept. So it's just a starting point. So blog posts and emails from other people. We're just using ours as an example. All right.
Instead of promoting a course, you're promoting a printable at the end of it. And the same concepts will work, won't they? Yeah. And hello, new Sarah. I think I'm the Sarah that Fran might have meant to have tagged. Welcome. That's Sharon. I'm Sarah. We're from Content Sparks. I'm Team Sparks. Sharon's the boss. We're talking rebrandable, usable content and stuff that's done for you. So if you're interested, stay along. Thanks for the introduction, Fran.
And Mary, just following up, you've used Canva like that and recorded an entire online course directly from Canva with voiceover. So use Soapbox. That's like Loom. Is that like Camtasia also? I'm going to just make a note so I know. Soapbox. So is that a screen recorder? Let me know. Because I think it would be nice doing Canva and just recording the screen. It could be a really quick, easy way if you don't want to have to play around in PowerPoint and you just want simple animations, and you can put all the presenter notes in there. You just share the screen, especially if you have two monitors. For anyone that does not have two monitors, seriously consider it. It has saved my life so many times, made things much, much easier for not just for presenting in webinars and live streams and stuff and sharing. Like right now, I have my monitor in front of me. I can see Sarah. I can see your comments. I can see everything. But when I want to share a screen, I don't want to have that on top of whatever I'm looking at. I have it as a separate monitor. And the only problem is I'm looking that way, which is why I go full screen. But also, if you're doing something like just editing, writing stuff and researching, if you have things over on another monitor, you can just be glancing over and have the bulk of the stuff in front of you. You're not looking at notes or anything like that. So it just does make life easier. Now, one of my assistants, Evan, prefers something different. He has a massive monitor, one instead that he just has multiple windows on. So that's what he prefers. Everybody to each their own. So Soapbox, Mary said, is by Wistia. Okay.
Ooh, we'll have to look it up.
And she said, yes, it's like Zoom, an online screen recorder. You can toggle between screen and speaker in the editing process as well. That's nice. Editing is done online, not on your computer. Okay. And ScreenFlow, yeah, it's like, oh, that would be kind of cool to be able to toggle back and forth in the editing, because that's one of the things that drives me a little crazy with Camtasia is if I want to have myself up there and then, if I've recorded with both, it's really fiddly to try and do that. I have to make myself bigger and I have to split it and it always gets messed up. So that's kind of cool. In Snagit, if I'm doing a screen recording and I want to go back and forth to just me, because I don't like to have me on the same screen as my slides, typically, because it's distracting. People are either going to look at you or they're going to look at your slide. They can't look at both of you at the same time. So what I do with Snagit is I just turn the webcam on and off when I want to have it on, and then it's right there for you. Okay. Jane said,
lots of screens.
A lot about the third monitor. I have, and I thought, maybe that it might be going overboard. If you get one, you'll have to let me know how it goes. Okay. Let's go see if we've missed anything, because we're kind of running out of time here and I want to wrap up. The only other thing I wanted to quickly squeeze in as we're running out of time is you can also record the audio as podcast. I don't think we talked about that yet. No. And it would be the same concept as the live stream that we talked about before, where you take the blog post or the email as a starting point to spark your ideas, make some notes, note where you're going to do stories and examples and stuff. Again, maybe bring on a guest, all the same things as a live stream, except you're not on camera. You're just recording it as audio. And then you can do all the things that Sarah talked about earlier. And if you came in late and you missed it, you're going to have to go back, rewind, and watch that, because she shared a lot of stuff. But you're putting it all together, getting it transcribed, and then also doing that as a Kindle book too. So use it as your starter for your podcast. Put it on something like, is it anchor.fm?
Yep, that's really good.
Right?
Yep, you just open an account there. It just takes your email address. Very easy to set up. It will take you 30 seconds to set up, unless you're having a cup of tea, in which case it will take you 2 minutes. If you're dipping biscuits in the tea, it may take 5 minutes. It's really, really quick. And you just download your live stream and drag that video up to the episode section on Anchor FM, and it takes your video and turns it into a podcast.
It takes the audio out?
Yep.
Oh.
And you can add an image, so you can do a little episode 1 image. So at some point, me and Sharon will take all of these videos and bang them up for the Content Sparks family podcast.
So now that means that you have to make sure you don't share screen if you know you're going to make it into a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm. So you would talk about different things for podcast episodes.
Yeah, otherwise it's not going to work, because on the podcast you're saying, okay, now let's look at this. And here, let me show you. It's not going to work. But unless you take that out of the video and you could put it underneath somehow, and you just have to do some editing. Yeah, so that could work too. All right, that's all I have for now, because we're running out of time. But Fran's going to try that method and tell us about it. And is there anything else we have left? Anybody else has any comments they want to put in, please do. I need to show you again the banner. So again, this is what's new, what we just released today, the contentsparks.com/50 blog posts and emails. This is what it looks like, just the sales page, so that you know there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's 5 packs on different topics: work from home business and working remotely. Those are like 2 super hot topics right now. Business niches, success mindset, and know your customer. And by the way, these all do have courses that we have related if you need something to sell, something to teach, and we give you a coupon so you can get a discount on them. And you can get all 5 packs for 50% off while we're in this launch week, the first week. So, listen to some of the ideas that we talked about here. If you already have blog posts and stuff, use some of them. Don't let them sit on your computer, please. And if you don't have any, think about picking up, or even if you do have some already, you can always have more, because then you've always got stuff to queue up and you always have content in your fingertips when you need it. And otherwise, we'll look out for any other ideas as well. All right, Mary, we're going to see what you're doing. You're relaunching your blog. Excellent. I want to see how you do some of these ideas. And you said you're sending an email out with affiliate. Oh, that's for something else. Okay. For the other. Oh, so the affiliate link for my stuff. Yeah, great, thanks.
And Fran's sending hers out right after this session. Awesome. If you want, Fran, anybody who clicks the link, because you should be able to track that. I know you said you're in Get Response. And if you want to have a quick chat with me at some point, I've got a link that will move you from Get Response to Active Campaign and move you smoothly. So it will take your automations with you. But anybody who clicks Sharon's affiliate link, follow them up, wrap your affiliate link around this live stream and send them the live stream saying, I saw you were interested. I don't know if you've got the pack, but if you want some ideas, I was on this session and Sarah and Sharon are brilliant. Sharon's got some really good ideas, particularly using the cover images and various other bits, and just link them down, and you will be able to sell more to the people that are interested. And if you're watching this on the replay, hello, new people, you'll love this stuff.
And also, just a quick note on the affiliate side, make sure you're in our Facebook group for affiliates, because there are also 2 little training videos in there, one on where to grab your links and one how to create those custom landing page links so that you can go anywhere, including this video, and have an affiliate link that shares it. All right. So that's it for now, and I will we'll look out. We'll hopefully get notified if you know any other questions, ideas. Note them in here, and we will look out and enjoy the new content and have a great rest of the day today or night, wherever you are. All right, take care now. Bye.